Is nig-nog racist?
No.
If I call someone a nig-nog,
That's an old cartoon,
I
is it
think
not?
if you did so
No,
in the right
that's
context,
old.
it would probably be taken as racist. Especially considering the first three letters.
My head
that's
was
like a
trying
little-
to think of like bog, and then I was like nidhogg, and then I was like nig-nog, and then I was like, is
That's
that
a little cartoon guy, is it not?
is it? Is nig-nog a cartoon guy?
Hold on.
Patrick,
I
put
can't
up.
hear anything.
Wait, it's gonna be one of those like because you don't have your earphones plugged in at all.
Yep.
Yeah,
That'll
the
do it.
nog is it's gonna be like one of those like Mr. Popo ass looking cartoon characters. I guarantee you. If
No,
Nog is
he's like,
cartoon
he's like a
character,
white dude in a suit. He did dominoes.
What?
He's a white
The fuck
dude
are
in
you
a
talking
suit
about?
that does dominoes. What does that even fucking mean? Like that's
What kind of local 58 TV shows were you watching when you were
it's
a
like a
kid?
Russian
dude.
character. That's no, that is not.
Show me this.
If you're really thinking like
That's the Noid.
It's the Noid.
Oh.
That's the Noid.
I'm sorry. Was the Domino's nog like a thing in your house?
I don't know. I didn't get to see
I mean,
this
most
guy
of the
when he
letters
was...
are there, but it's all jumbled up.
Cut the
I didn't
Patrick.
see
That is the
Noid.
first actual good laugh. Cut the rest of this out. Welcome to AnythingCast. I'm Patrick.
Will apparently has audio dyslexia. I'm Eric.
Yeah.
I'm the Noid Will.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call yourself the other thing.
No, you can't say that in public.
I'm serious. Like, if you Google what I said, Patrick, I guess bleep it. Like, is that like a racial slur? And if so, can I say it to Al the next time he's on the podcast?
N-I-D-N-O-G?
No,
Nig-nog?
N-I-G-N-O-D.
Nog. Nog,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's British
N-I-G-N-O-G.
slang.
Oh, nog. It really is.
A black person.
Oh, damn!
You might not want to say that, Patrick. You might not want to say that. Oh, dear.
All right.
Damn, you guessed that right, though.
I'm serious. Like, that was like...
to add to it from, and this is from Merriam-Webster, so it's official.
Okay.
Oh, no.
British slang, disparaging plus offensive.
Yeah,
So,
all right.
Patrick, you've been saying the British N-word this whole time.
I haven't been doing that like my whole life or anything. It just came to me and I was like, you know what? Is that actually a slur? Same way that Will did on the I'll Discuss Anything podcast a long time ago. He was like, is towel head a slur? Like that was my own towel head moment.
Oh,
That's
no,
all that was.
Get ready with your censor thing because my favorite was when Will told the story of discovering what monkey meant.
Yeah. Oh man.
Censor that. Censor
No,
that.
I mean, like, it doesn't make any sense if we censor it.
Part,
it's funny. It's funny if we just leave
not
that
racial
because it's
if you're
not
just
racial.
like-
He was just wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
well,
thought that
You
a-
weren't saying it in a racial context.
I love that story though. You just
Or in
thought
a
that
big way.
Monkey was a guy who makes porches and works on porches.
Yeah, I thought
I
he was
mean,
an
it even
independent
makes
contractor.
sense
It
too.
makes
like,
sense, yeah.
Grease Monkey is a guy
Yes.
who works on cars.
Yes.
A porch monkey is like a
Moonli-
carpenter who works on like outdoor parts of houses.
A moonlight mechanic is a guy who works outside of a workshop.
And a moon it
And
is
like normally he works under the night of the moon to fix a car or whatever.
Right, because he's there after hours.
Yeah.
The name is part of a description of what he does.
yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
Right.
of course.
And I mean, technically, it is a descriptor of what they are. It's
Yeah.
just a really bigoted one.
It really is. Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
implying like, oh yeah, black people sit on porches. You know, it's like
If
that's
you
one
talk
of
to
those
my
things
boss,
where
he would say that is correct 100%.
what that black people sit on. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody
so do
sits on
old
porches.
White people who like don't enjoy like
Yeah,
electronics
but for some
and stuff.
reason,
They
he
go
was
out
really
and they sit
offended
on their
that-
porches. It's
Well, I
like-
literally passed a white guy doing it on the way here.
Oh, of
It's-
course,
it's
yeah.
more of a thing poor people in the South did because they were bored and it's too damn hot.
Is that a thing like in the North? Because people in the North, like in New York, they don't have a porch, right? So
No,
is
they're
that like
called stoop monkeys.
is that the yeah? I was gonna, damn it, you beat me
I
to
don't
it.
know.
You know what I
was.
bet?
That's exactly where I was going. I
know
was
what I-
like in the North, you call them stoop monkeys.
I bet I
They're
know
just
where
like-
that came from, though.
Oh, hey Arnold.
There's also like those
No, no,
mini
no, 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 the
cul-de-sac
other thing.
things that
Uh,
like people hang out in.
I
always
bet
see.
it came from like basically black people not being able to get a job due to discrimination.
Oh, absolutely.
And
It was
so
like a-
like you
So
saw
that all they did was
what
sit
everyone else
around,
does
but
when they
yes.
don't have a job, just wander about doing whatever. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday unemployed friend activities.
yeah.
Yeah. So they're just monkeying around on their porch, you know, like, okay, like, yeah, I get it. You know, the only reason it's bad is because of
It's
the
bigoted.
specific derogatory
Yeah, because-
reasoning and like usage.
Yeah, because people use it in
Yeah.
a bigoted way.
I cannot believe that was really a like. No, you'd have to be like people did that on purpose, obviously, because like you'd have to be
Obviously. No, they
an
were being
absolute
assholes.
idiot. Yeah, you'd have to be an idiot to be like, black people are lazy. They sit around on their porch and don't work jobs without like even the semblance of thought of like, yeah, they can't get a job because they're black and no one will hire them. Like in the 60s and the 50s, like that's such a
Oh, here's a
fucked
funny
situation.
historical anecdote that I don't know if this is true.
Anecdote.
Yeah.
Antidote is what you give people when they're poisoned.
Well, I'm poisoned by your fucking nerdism, so I
Okay.
need an antidote. to
I'm
cure
sorry.
it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
An antidote.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if this is true, so this is my preface.
Preface, not preface.
I would preference you to stop fucking interrupting
Okay,
me.
all right. Can we get one more before he's done telling the story? Can I find one
we
more
will
thing he
span
says
the
wrong?
whole Pacific Ocean before we get to this point.
But so back during the time of slavery, the myth that like black people are lazy and stuff like that, the slaves wanted that to be perpetuated, like, you know, dumb and lazy, because it ended up making it to where they didn't have to work nearly as much.
Yeah, and they were probably like the idea that they were dumb made them also kind of like a little bit safer.
Yeah.
They couldn't come up with the idea to escape. They're
Why
too
would you
stupid.
punish him? He's dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, or like that. It'd be like screening from people escaping.
Of course, yeah.
And I mean, let's be completely honest. How highly motivated to work do you think you'd be in that situation?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, okay, it's 100 degrees outside. I have nothing but hard
global warming
manual to
hadn't
do.
started
needling
yet,
my
so
hand.
it's not 100
Anytime
degrees.
the overseer isn't out here, I'm going to be spending lots of little 5-minute breaks in the shade of that shade tree over
Oh
there.
yeah, absolutely.
And-
Fuck this shit.
Okay,
Like,
all right. Here's a good hypothetical.
Anyone
Would
would
you
do
ra-
that.
All right, you're forced to go back in time. You have to be a slave. Would you rather be a sugarcane slave, cotton slave?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that...
Isn't
Shoot my left
sugarcane-
foot or my right foot. I mean, I guess I'd be probably in the islands if I was doing
Sugarcane has more
sugarcane.
dangerous
See,
animals and insects, I think.
I disagree because sugarcane comes with a lot of amputations.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be
Yeah,
a
the
cotton.
Caribbean
I'd
sugarcane.
rather pick cotton. I think.
Like, that was mostly Caribbean shit, right?
'Cause, like,
in Cuba.
Would you rather pick sugarcane or bananas?
Ugh, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's
That's a good-
also like a
that's a
big one
good
because
rough one.
cotton's way safer in my
Problem-
opinion.
yeah,
You're getting
problem with
whipped
cotton
and like you live in a shitty
It's just gonna
environment.
fuck up your hands.
Yeah, no. All the things that you're doing are gonna fuck up your hands. I don't think any of this.
None
is
of
gonna,
this is okay.
No,
Like,
no,
no,
like,
none of
that's
this
why it's a
is-
good that's why it's a good hypothetical.
It's all bad.
No.
Like,
there was
so-
only one good version of slavery, and it was cotton picking. The rest of them were going to, like that.
We're
Those are all
talking-
terrible.
I
We're
don't
talking
know.
about like all of these are 97% bad. We're just trying to figure out which one's closer to 100.
Yes, exactly.
Like that's like cotton picking is 97% bad.
the spiders and the
and
banana
sugarcane
thing
is 98.2% bad.
I don't
Yeah.
think the spiders though
You
are
know.
as bad as losing a limb. To
the
like
spiders
a
would kill
sugarcane
you.
machine.
I think.
I mean,
I don't-
or what if they don't? You just have permanent nerve damage, and then you're just like, now get back out there and pick
Fuck
them
me.
nanners.
What did they do when you got
oh,
hurt as a
banana-
black dude and you were a slave? They put you down like a horse that broke
Well,
its
if you're
leg?
hurt bad enough, yeah, they'd just shoot you. I imagine, or like I guess if they were mean enough, feed you to dogs.
Oh my!
Uh,
What the
It
fuck?
depends. They might make you just do sit down work all day
If they-
or something.
if they-
have any to do.
I was about to
though.
say if they liked you, they might let you go in the house and do house stuff.
That. How many people do you think like cut off their own hand so that they could go work in the house?
Yeah, but
I'm sure there's a small percentage.
Hold on though, because the house slaves generally had to be like the prettier and more well spoken. A carved
That's
up,
true,
you know,
Oh yeah.
field
Like
worker
like,
isn't
I
desirable
don't know,
in the house.
I was about to say, I'm thinking maybe like a gardener or something. Maybe you get lucky with
bro,
that.
they're all gardeners.
technically, if you want the definition of gardening, you want to go as vague as possible.
Trust me,
They're
no,
all doing gardening.
Wow. Wow.
He's like, no, I think I've had enough gardening.
Yeah.
Please and thank
Less
you.
brutal gardening, I guess.
Is there a version of like the
Trimming
worst?
shrubs instead of picking
Okay.
cotton.
Banana picker
Yeah.
or slave miner.
Oh, banana picker all day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Slave
probably.
mining is so like
Do
slave
you think
mining's
that's
got to be
100%?
I don't know. I don't know
Maybe.
enough because
I do. But it's got to be
Again-
right because you're not only are you going down there, one, probably without light. Like maybe they give you a
Yes.
candle. Maybe they spare you a candle. Two, You're not getting anything to save you from the fumes.
Yeah.
You're just sitting
or
down
the
there.
heat.
What are we
Well, the
mining
good
in this
news
situation?
is the tech still sucked then, so you really couldn't get super deep either, so it wasn't as bad yet.
But you don't have
also
to
it
get
was getting
super
there.
deep for a cave-in to happen.
Not for a
Yeah.
cave-in, no. Yeah.
Yeah. I would rather die by spider bite and in the banana situation than die in cave-in. Cave-in's scary.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like,
Now you're in
That
the
adds
dark, you're suffocating.
claustrophobia, the dark.
Oh, yeah.
there's nothing good about it. And that
And-
one candle they gave you, that's you and the other 7 guys that are with you. That you
true.
all share
And-
that
and-
candle.
Oh, and let's not
And, like-
forget cave-ins that are done entirely with water.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
the cave just fucking floods with water because it's raining outside, and there's like, yeah, but I still want you to go in and get it.
Oh,
And then suddenly it fills up with water and you can't get out, and there's twists and turns, and one goes in one direction, and then you go and you find an air pocket, and then you realize you're in an air pocket where there actually isn't any escape, and the other way was the other way, and you're never going to get back out of there, and you're just going to die there.
Yeah, you're just gonna
floating
drink
in the
and have
underwater
all
in the
this
ground,
air.
in the dark.
Yeah.
Speaking of that situation,
So yeah, mining definitely worse. Now that I've
Yeah,
thought about it for a
absolutely.
second, mining way worse.
do you remember that video of when that ship sunk off of the coast of South Africa, and like they had some divers go down there to see if they could find any bodies, and they found that one fucking guy alive?
Yeah, he was in the air pocket.
Yeah.
and he was like drinking
Yeah.
Coca-Cola that kept him alive.
Yeah. He had like a single can of Coca-Cola that he
Yeah.
was drinking for both calories and water that wasn't salinated.
By the way, I want to point out one can of cola, 150 calories. He survived on 150 calories.
Well, at
Yep.
the same time, that is the best advertisement for
granted-
Coca-Cola that could ever be. They should plaster
50
that
grams
everywhere.
50 grams of sugar. Yeah, I know. It just should be like Red Bull
Yeah,
advertisements.
absolutely.
that's the only reason he lived.
What if that all
He
of
said
that
he had
were-
to fucking listen to the sharks like eat people.
What if that
Like,
was
in
like
the dark.
a fucking
Oh.
Coca-Cola
Because he didn't have a
big
light.
scheme?
Like that the light you see in the video is from the diver.
Yeah,
He was
God.
sitting there in the fucking dark listening to sharks eat people, hoping they didn't fucking find him, I
Yeah,
guess.
just didn't decide to fuck him up.
Well, thankfully the others had already drowned, so they were probably putting off different odors than he was.
Yeah.
I guess.
And
like,
sharks are opportunistic. They'll always go for a
But,
fresh
I mean,
dead body before
even
they
if-
go for a moving target.
It's true, but even still.
that guy just gets to go around like telling that story for the rest of his life.
He
to
became
like,
a
do-
diver.
For all
He
intents and
became a diver.
He got his diving license after that.
Fuck that,
Well,
dude.
and
I mean, like, I would
after
never go
that,
in the water again.
I would definitely want to know how to get out of that situation.
Sure, but
I don't think there was any getting out of that situation unless you were rescued out of that situation. I don't think you can dive your way out of that situation. I don't care how good
How
you
did
are.
he survive
Well,
the pressure?
That's why every
He
time
was, he was in a hole.
that's
The
why
hole
he's a
protected him.
diver now, dude.
Because-
every time he goes out in the ocean now, he goes with full diving.
Oh, yeah,
gear.
absolutely.
When you see the video, he's not like under the water. He's in a pocket where the water's like
yeah,
up to
it
his
was like
waist.
slanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. But like, I feel like is it?
It's
'cause
the,
the
hole that
divers-
was protecting
Yeah,
him.
the actual boat itself. I
Yeah.
wonder if he got the bins coming back up.
Maybe a little, but
I'm sure they had like so one thing that they did when they were rescuing him is that they obviously put him in a helmet that like would help him breathe.
Yes,
And I'm pretty sure they had a bell because like when you dive and you're doing all that stuff deep down, you have a bell that you wait in and you wait, until the bins is over basically.
it really
basically,
just
yeah.
depends on how deep the wreckage was.
Yeah.
it was
Because
at the bottom of the
if it
ocean.
was-
So I mean,
well,
I
the
don't
bottom
know.
of the ocean, how far off?
Yeah,
the
it can
coast?
always mean it can mean a bunch
like
of different
the
shit.
bottom of the ocean might not be enough
'Cause
to give you the bends in one
I know
area,
it's like, what,
and it might
60
be enough
meters
to crush you just by
before-
being there in another.
Something like that,
It's like
yeah.
60 meters before you have
It's
to
only
stop
like
and
100
wait.
feet.
Yeah.
Now, 60
Yeah.
meters is
It's 180 feet. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like it's only like 100 feet before you have to worry about getting the bins.
I can't remember.
It's not.
but
It's
I-
not a lot. It's
I
way
think-
less than you would think.
I think the record for free breath diving is like 120 feet.
they have this thing in India where they like have people that are competitive divers that will like try, and it's just a pool, right? But it goes down like 300 feet or something.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's really cool to look at.
I think that's for teaching people to dive and like
I'm
for
sure it is,
competitive
yeah.
divers to like see how far they can make it down by themselves.
yeah. There are people. It's kind of like if you go to the edges of extreme areas where people live.
Yeah, like where
the
you
tops
live,
of the Himalayas,
out in the middle of the fucking woods.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Except
Always
you gotta live
surrounded by
there long
family.
enough for your body to change. Like in the Himalayas and like certain mountainous areas, people literally have like 30% larger lung capacity
Mhm.
than people who don't live in the mountains.
Do you think a guy
And-
from the Himalayas could absolutely fucking... I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just had this random thought. If you gave a guy from the Himalayas one joint, like one standard joint,
You think you could just
yeah,
take the
do you
whole
think he
thing?
could ash the entire thing?
That'd be
If he
cool
was
as hell to
a
watch.
veteran weed smoker and
In the Himalayas?
then maybe.
Maybe.
That would be really cool to watch.
That would be cool.
Is
to
there a
watch,
video
but,
of anybody doing that? I'm sure there is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably. But
Patrick,
most
put
of
it
them
on
probably-
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah, see if you
Patrick,
can
find that.
find one guy just ashing a whole joint in one drag.
Like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking always loved it. The cartoons where like the characters would get a cigar or a cigarette, and they're like, "I don't know how to use this, but I'm just," and like he does the whole thing, and then
Yeah.
they turn green and like,
Like, is that Pinocchio? Where
that
they do
does
that?
happen in Pinocchio.
Yeah,
Not quite
yeah.
like that, but
That's where he turns into a donkey because he's being a jackass.
yeah.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
story was about pedophilia.
Is that what that
No,
was?
that
Yes.
was not about.
No, yeah, in the
pedophilia.
real
It was
book, that's about
child
pedophilia.
slavery.
Yeah, in the movie, it's a little bit more cleaned up for Disney, but no,
Yeah,
in the book,
they
it's
don't
actually
suggest specifically that it's for
it's actually
sex. They
about
suggest it's for slavery.
pedophilia.
So wait, in the book, it was like
Which
a children's
probably
brothel.
meant slavery.
that whole
where they let
island.
them
Yeah,
drink and,
no, that
like,
whole
smoke.
island is about
they said
sex
Epstein's
trafficking.
Island?
Yeah, no, it's Epstein's Island.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It's only
Pinocchio
implied
called
that
Epstein's
it's
Island.
Yes,
slaves.
Pinocchio is about Epstein's Island.
It's never directly implied that they're being molested. I mean, if they're slaves, you now can
Not
probably
directly.
assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now he admits it. It's not. It's only said that they're slaves.
Not
They're-
Little Saint James.
Now, if little children are brought to an island and sold as slaves, yes, I will agree with Will, especially in that time period. There is like a 99% chance a lot of those kids are going to be fucking sold into sex slavery.
Little Saint Geppetto's Island.
There you go.
Yeah, Geppetto's Black Book.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But
Do you think that what was is that what he did in the wait, was Pinocchio a sex doll in the book or something?
No,
Is that the implication?
No, it's just that island bit.
Okay, I was gonna say because
just-
Geppetto would be like the most fucked up character
No, no,
ever. If
it's
he's just
like-
like,
the
sex
cat
was
and the
never
fox.
implied
I'm making
directly.
a little boy doll for the people on the island.
The cat
Why
and
did he
the-
turn Jamaican? I can't do a fucking Italian
The
accent.
cat and the fox are sex traffickers, and that's what they're like supposed to
Oh
analogize.
my god!
You
He
see how
keeps
hot
saying
the
directly
fox is?
stuff that's not directly implied at all.
Huh?
See how hot the fox is in
No.
the new Pinocchio movie?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Okay, fine. Yeah, Patrick, put him up.
While he's looking that
Will's
up,
looking it up. He's so hot. They made him hot for no reason.
I was just gonna say,
Well, it's
people,
always a pretty face that gets you sex trafficked.
I know.
people that do like deep diving also have lung.
Deep diving into children, or okay, we're back on the diving.
like that one.
Okay.
No, we can go back to the children. I just
Okay.
wanted to finish that point. Is that I brought the Himalayan people because, like, islanders who deep dive like without like equipment constantly.
What is- did you
also
find a
have
picture of him?
physical
It's a
development.
Fox, dude. What do you mean?
What do
he's
you
hot?
mean?
What do you mean?
It's-
a
what are you
fox,
talking
a
about?
fox.
Come on.
He's got a nice,
hey,
he's
show
got
it to
a-
Eric.
He's got a nice smile.
Well, he was the one who
Yeah, it
complained
does.
when the
He's so
police
He's got
charming.
like a
were
little
on.
dog smile. He's like, he's cute. I want to
Let me
pet
see.
him.
Let me see. You looking at the right thing? Yeah, exactly.
I want to
See?
like pet his head.
No, show it to Eric.
Eric,
Look how hot
look
he
at
is
his
in the
smile
new
and tell me
movie.
you don't immediately just want to scratch his ears.
Patrick, that looks a lot like your dog.
Well, I picked him for a reason. I mean, I know what I like. I know what I'm about.
I'm concerned, Patrick.
That's the wolf. They made him step in shit or something in the new movie.
should
No,
use
they
this
made
picture.
Pinocchio sniff shit. Pinocchio like walks
That's-
out and like sees like a horse turd.
This
It's
is
just
what I'm
like-
talking about. Look at that.
I know
See
that's
how
what you're
hot he
talking
is.
about.
See how hot
No,
he is.
he's just a little pup. I want to scratch his ears.
No, he's got like a wry smile and like he's got
Nah.
he's got little diddling hands sticking up.
he does have little diddling hands.
I'm starting to agree more with the child prostitute thing going
That's
on.
some diddy
I'm just gonna
gloves.
stop fighting it.
That looks like they
I keep
based
trying
that.
to insert the facts that none of this is directly implied.
Yeah.
I guess we're just going down the Pinocchio.
Look, if
child
Republicans
sex
can spread
rabbit hole.
misinformation and win the elections, why can't I?
That's
The
what
Democrats spread misinformation all the time.
Sure,
too.
they do.
That's what the P and P
I'm not
Diddy stood
defending
for.
them.
It stood
Just
for
say
Pinocchio.
politicians. Stop making it all so pointed, like you have an agenda.
I have an agenda.
You do have an agenda.
Well,
You read like wildly biased news on purpose. You're like you were like, yeah, I read the Jacobian, the Jacobin, and I was like, why would you? That's like reading Fox News, but like the other way around.
Well, you're never gonna sway anyone with such a transparent
No, it's more like
agenda.
Stormfront.
Yeah,
it's
but
more like reading Stormfront, but like the exact
I want to point
opposite
out
way.
when I
Is
relay
it the opposite, or does it just kind of circle around all the time?
once again, I want to point out when I relay the news, I don't use the Jacobin or any other of my leftist news media. I use reliable sources like AP, Reuters.
I thought you were gonna say like Reddit, because I've seen your ass. Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
just-
yeah,
Twitter,
I have.
Facebook.
I have, but like, if I have to be reliable, I don't quote those places. I go
Kiwi Farms.
to
Ooh.
Reuters and AP.
Actually, Kiwi Farms might be like wildly reliable now I think about it. Like, because they are like investigative journalists,
Kiwi
just doing
Farms
the wrong
is
thing.
Surprisingly,
They're
They
investigating.
only
like,
investigate dick pics.
exactly. Like, if you need to know about Chris Chan, they're the ones
They're the
who would.
ones.
You know, they're the ones who know. It's just
rock,
They're
paper,
also probably
shotgun.
the ones that created the story by going out and harassing
yeah,
him in the
absolutely.
first place to garner that reaction so that they could write
Is Kiwi
about
Farms
it.
back?
I don't know.
It got taken down, right?
I have no idea.
Trolls like that never disappear.
Rock,
They
paper,
just
shotgun's
shift
pretty good.
position.
Rock, paper,
Games
shotgun?
journalism.
I mean, the only one I know of that's like real games journalism that still is like alive is Kotaku. And
Oh, God.
Kotaku is like its own joke now.
Yeah, Kotaku is like
Are they
the
self-aware?
laughing stock of the internet. They're trying to fire a bunch of people right now and lay them off.
Are they self-aware? They're like the Onion, or no, not the Onion. They're
not
like the
Onion. No, they're actual journalism.
No, yeah,
no,
well,
they're not.
the Onion's like
What?
It's like
once
neg-
again, Eric. Yellow page journalism is bad journalism, but it's
Okay.
still journalism.
Fair
the
enough.
fuck?
Fair enough.
what am I thinking of? It starts with a B. That was
now
like
we're
the,
just going to be factual and stop, making metaphors.
who was the
and
fucking thing
hyperboles.
that leaked the Hulk Hogan sex tape?
I don't know.
Oh,
Why-
I don't know. What was that like?
Did you watch it?
There was like a really famous. Yeah, I watched it. Of course, I watched it. I've still got it. You want it?
No.
You wanna
does
see
Hulk
it?
Hogan's
like
penis look like?
tabloid
You
journalist
can't see it.
kind of
Oh, okay.
stuff.
You think
It was
it's
just
fucked
like
up?
it was just like a. It started with a B. It was like the. I think it's still a thing. It's just
big, beautiful
BuzzFeed. They're just
women.
BuzzFeed. Kotaku is just BuzzFeed for games.
Oh yeah,
That's all it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought BuzzFeed was just kind of like Reddit, but videos. Like,
These
What?
days, it kind of is, but
Yeah,
they used
but
to
no,
try to be
Reddit,
journalism.
Reddit's just, or not Reddit. BuzzFeed is just like a magazine.
Is it a
magazine?
Is it an
It's-
actual
it's
magazine?
A tabloid, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. That's why that ghost show with
Like
Ryan Bergera
the reason,
and
and I mean,
started
granted,
on
they're
there.
an internet tabloid or whatever,
Yeah.
but I mean that's what they are. They're just like the equivalent of like TMZ or whatever.
Is BuzzFeed like?
Not TMZ. What's the freaking thing you see at Walmart like off on the like
Oh,
side
the
counter?
Inquirer?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
yeah,
they're the
National
equivalent of the
Enquirer.
Inquirer.
Yeah.
Damn, the National Enquirer's been going for so long.
Hey, which one of you guys thinks like which one of us draws the worst?
What do
I
you
can
mean?
actually draw.
Oh,
right?
you-
I can hear that. You need
Sorry, I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah.
I was twisting it the wrong way.
Probably me.
probably you. Eric, can you draw at all?
Yeah,
You
I can
can?
draw decently.
Okay. Will, I had an idea for a video for the channel.
Okay.
Right? It's a how to draw the Prophet Muhammad video. where we just get you or whoever draws the worst to like draw and paint the Prophet Muhammad in like a short 5-minute video.
Okay.
And then at the end, it's just like people just can't take it seriously because of like how bad the drawing is. And it's just I think that would be good.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I want to make that. I want to get like an easel and like a
An
like
easel.
yeah, like set it up with like lights and everything and make it like look
Have like an
it's
actual
serious.
concrete block I'm sculpting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sculpting the Prophet Muhammad. That's better. That's way better.
Wait, if you're not allowed to depict the Prophet Muhammad, can you sculpt the Prophet Muhammad?
oh, absolutely
No.
not. No.
That would be a depiction of the Prophet Muhammad.
What are those?
What if I'm imagining the Prophet Muhammad? Am I depicting the Prophet Muhammad?
No, it's just in your head.
What's the shittiest form of art that you could make an image of the Prophet Muhammad
MS
with?
Paint?
Ooh, Actually, that might be
good one.
funnier. That might be even funnier.
It's basically just drawing, but shitty.
We just got to make sure you're doing it with a trackpad.
I was
No,
about to say,
no,
if
no.
it would be
Mouse.
bad, just do it with the mouse.
Yeah, just a trackpad.
For a second there, I thought you meant like one of those like professional things. Like, no, you mean
No,
that
no,
little
no.
nub in like the center of old laptops.
No, just a laptop with you like facing the camera and then like it projecting on the green screen behind you of what you're drawing. And then just the whole time we're just going to play some calming music and then do like
No, we can't do calming me. We have to play the audiobook of the Quran.
Oh, that slowly over the like 0 Dark 30 music.
Yeah. Yes.
No, you got to play a music from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love theme from Metal Gear Solid 4. That's a little bit too sad, right? Like that wouldn't really work.
I mean, isn't the Quran kind of sad?
I don't know. I listening to the audiobook, I can tell you
it's all kind of morbid.
it was fucking boring. I can tell you that much. I couldn't look.
That's why we're gonna spice it up with the drawing.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we're gonna make it a little bit more accessible. That's how we should pitch it. That at the beginning, you're just like,
Are there any
look, I've been really
detailed
trying to get
descriptions
into
of Muhammad?
I don't know. I mean, like I listened to the audiobook of the Quran, but like it's so difficult to listen to because it doesn't translate to English very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bible's like easy as shit to read because everything kind of makes sense. But listening to the Quran, I was like, I'm so lost. Like I have no idea like what, and
I feel like it would almost be easier to learn Arabic and then read it
no
in that.
sentence fed into each other. Wasn't getting like a grand picture in my head or everything. Everything was so disjointed, and I literally went into it being like, I want to like give it a fair shot. And
You
like
seem to have forgotten the Bible parts where it was just literally lists of
I was about to
names.
say.
of names.
I was about to say. I will also point out that if you read the Bible cover to cover and you're looking at it, it's also disjointed as shit.
it really depends. Once you get to Numbers, absolutely. Numbers is like, what is the worst book of the Bible? Is it Numbers?
No, it's like one of the end books of old
Revelations.
Revelations is cool.
Now,
Fuck you.
one of the old-
Revelation
Yes,
is probably the
but it is
coolest
the most
one.
problematic fucking book in the Bible.
Hold on.
And
Worst
makes
book of the
Christians
Bible.
think the stupidest shit.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
also cool and
It's
you can
like
get
their
imagery.
No,
out
you
of
know
it.
what?
fantasy
It's
book they
fucking
get at
like
the very end.
Leviticus, the Book of Laws.
I'm reading the books of the Bible and I'm realizing I only know like what 5 of them are.
Let me see it.
Duh.
I've read the whole Bible before. Like I've read it twice over in my life, and I'm reading the books of the Bible, and I'm like, I know what like 5 of these have
Bro,
in it.
it's like a
Most of the New Testament.
1,600-year-old text based off of 2,000 and 6,000-year-old stories, respectively. And like,
Will, you used to
that's
be a
just if you
zealot.
believe.
Yeah.
Can I just list ones off to you, and you tell me what you think is in them? And then we can have future Patrick put up what's like the summary of the book.
Also, let's be
yeah,
honest,
sure, but I'm gonna let you know right now. My knowledge of the Old Testament is gonna get real bad after Judges,
After Judges,
and I'm actually gonna say it's gonna get real hazy around Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy's
I just like the word Deuteronomy. Am I
Deuteronomy
alone with that?
rules.
Is
It's just
Deuteronomy a
what?
fun
No,
word
does
to
it?
say?
It's
Yeah,
just-
it
it's-
does.
No, Deuteronomy's just another
No,
book
that's
of laws.
like reconciliation. That's just like a really cool word.
I have
It's like
no idea.
vermilion, Deuteronomy, Revelation.
I like the word.
Yeah, the word
Just
rules.
the word. Like, I don't know what is even in the chapter, but I like the word Deuteronomy.
Oh, politics
fun
moment
word.
of the podcast. Trump said that he's going to make a Truth and Reconciliation Committee. And my immediate thought was
Halo 3.
Halo?
No, Halo 1. I was
yeah.
like, he's going to make a committee to weed out all the people that never played Halo. Then that's who he's going to send to the labor camps.
When you saw the American dollar, did you pause at its beauty?
Is that
The
like
fuck are you talking about?
That's like
Will?
the thing in Halo 2 where it opens, where they're questioning the Arbiter.
Okay.
Like,
Oh.
when you
Sorry, I
saw
haven't
the
played Halo
Halo
2 in forever.
Were you shocked by its beauty or something like that?
Yeah, I did play through all of Halo 3 on easy mode.
Did
just
you?
to
You
get
like
that.
it?
Hey, so
I liked it 15 years ago. Why would I not like
Halo
it now?
1's
It's
just
so
the best
good.
one. I mean, like
I have the fucking anniversary version, but it's scratched up every time I get to
You want to just get mine?
Oh, you
it's
do?
up there. Yeah, it's up there. It's just it's at the very top.
I'm literally gonna do that right now. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. All right,
Man.
you guys. What happens
Piss me
in the
off.
book of Ecclesiastes?
That's where they ecclesia all over the place.
Cle-
And then
the
they were called
ecclesia
the
all over-
nasties.
Yeah, the
is that the
ecclesia all
book-
over my
So
nasties.
instead
Is
of calling
Ecclesiastes-
them the Ecclesiastes, they just called them the Ecclesiastics.
is that the one where Elijah
Ecclesi
like
nuts.
does the she-bear moment?
I don't know. Patrick, put up what Ecclesiastes has in it. Let's see if any. Let's see if we can get
Patrick
any of these
says
right.
not actually knowing what's in
Oh, I
this
have
book.
no idea what. Like I said, I know like 5 of these. I don't even recognize this one.
Go ahead.
Haggai. Haggai.
That's what you used to do before
I've
you
never
got
heard
married.
of that book
Yeah.
in the Bible. Hey, who's that over there? Hey,
It's just some-
Haggai.
it's just some Haggai.
It's just some Haggai.
They were very religious people.
Mhm,
That
yeah.
was all it was.
I mean, they are Catholics.
Well,
Spain.
the Latin American community is very Catholic.
Yeah,
All right.
Spain is not Latin American, but okay.
yeah, they're on the other side of the planet. Will they're
I mean,
Europeans?
Look,
you know?
they all speak Spanish.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Definitely. That's where it
Those
started.
Brits
so,
are
yes.
just like Americans, you know, just like the Australians.
Yeah.
And the
What's
Just
Canadian.
like the Canada and the New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah. New Zealand, America, it's practically the same
Sorry,
place.
not
Same
the New
laws,
Zealanders.
same
That's
people.
not their names. The Kiwis.
The Kiwis, yes. Do they
All
actually
right.
prefer to be called that? I don't know if
Yes,
that's a
I think
slur or
so.
not.
what happens in the book of Philemon?
That's where they
that's
learn
when they
to,
learn
like,
how to do the Jacob's ladder.
No, that's where they learn how to like put metal into like string and put into clothing.
Okay. That makes sense.
that might be
That's
filigree.
when God teaches them about the Jacob's ladder.
What the fuck is Colossians?
fuck up.
What?
Making shit up.
COLOSSIA.
You're making
No one
shit
named
up.
Jacob. He didn't have a ladder, he had a
Jacob.
step stool.
Jacob is a Hebrew name.
Yeah, Jacob was
Nah.
the guy with the multicolored coat.
Boom.
He had a coat
Eat
and a
shit.
ladder.
Joseph.
Those were his
Eat
things.
shit and die.
He just
Oh.
had a no.
Joseph
it's-
is an amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
No, it's Jacob and
Oh,
his amazing Technicolor
yeah,
green
No, it's
No.
Joseph.
coat.
It's
Okay, well,
Wonder
Jacob
Woman.
Jacob's
got eaten by
ladder
a
is definitely
whale.
Jacob is
No,
that's right.
Job.
That was not Job.
No,
No,
it's not, you
Job.
fucking
That's not
retard.
Job.
Yeah,
Job-
Jacob and the
didn't get eaten
whale.
by
It's
a
Jacob
whale.
and the whale.
No, it's not.
It's
not
not.
Jacob and the whale.
It's Jonah and the whale.
Jonah and the whale. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. What happens in the book of Tobit? I'm gonna give you like the names of like the parts of the book of Tobit, and tell me if you remember any of this. Right?
Everyone knows
okay.
Tobin.
Tobit
I went to college
instructs
with Tobin.
Tobias.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think he instructs him to do?
He teaches them how to eat off the foreskin.
Okay, that's a good one. Tobias obeys his father.
Well, Tobias
Lame.
is told
The
by his
next one
father
better
to go
be-
do something, and then he goes and does it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
That was a good story.
At the house of Ragwell.
So you go to this house of, he finds his house.
And that's where they
the
give you
house is owned
washcloths
by
that are made very
Ragwell.
well. It's Ragwell.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah,
got
it's
a well with
bathhouse.
some rags. It's a really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's a good story.
It's a bathhouse.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Let me see. Gabael returns the silver.
Oh, see, Gabael had borrowed some silver from Tobias, and
Okay.
and then later on, like maybe a month later, he had a bit of extra money in his budget, so he went to Tobias and said, "Hey, Tobias, it's me, Gabael. I remember when I borrowed that silver."
Gabael.
Gabael.
Mhm.
Remember when I borrowed? It's me, Gabael. You remember when I borrowed that silver?
And he said, "Of course, I'm Jewish. I remember every time someone's borrowed silver
Oh,
from
here's
me.
the silver back.
Where's the interest?"
And then for not
Yeah, you
giving
like-
him interest, God
Oh,
cursed him to
no.
be a transvestite hooker.
Actually,
it
And
turns
that's
out
why
God
being
would have cursed him to be an
transvestite is not
indentured
good.
slave because that was in the book of Leviticus.
Okay.
Oh.
Tobit's blindness is healed.
Well, you see, when he took
When he
that
saw
silver,
the transvestite,
No,
he
that
went
was
blind.
Tobias. This is Tobit, who
Yeah, Tobias
apparently-
showed Tobit the transvestite that he had made with the curse,
and
the
it
Jew
made him
curse,
blind.
because he,
Or
you
it's-
know,
or
didn't
it's
I don't know if
say
you
saying
are
that
that
saying
healed his
Jew curse.
blindness.
That just sounds like a non-go on. That sounds like a non-starter.
You didn't
Well, we're
pay your
still in the Old
interest, and he put a
Testament.
Jew
It is-
curse on you.
It's definitely still a Jew curse.
And that turned him into a transvestite, which burned Tobit's eyes.
Tobit's
Because it was an
final
affront to
words.
God.
Yeah, it
He
was.
said, "Damn, dude, look like a lady."
Damn,
Dude, look like a lady. Dude, look like a lady. Damn, dude, look like a lady. Yeah, that's pretty much how Tobit ends.
Yeah.
I'm reading it right now. That's exactly what it
You
says.
know, you're
Caps
right.
and
The Bible
everything.
does move along a lot smoother than the Quran. These stories are pretty easy to follow.
Dude, it's just like modern day too. Like it applies so much to our
I didn't know
modern
that
day.
there
What's
was
the,
this
what's the
many
next book, man?
Like,
Oh,
I
the
didn't know
next
there was
book,
this much
let's
trans
see.
representation in the Bible. That's just amazing.
All right. What happens in the First Thessalonians?
First Thessalonians.
Yeah, First Thessalonians.
If you were talking to me about the Second Thessalonians,
Dude, I've got that one. That one up here. I've got every bit of it memorized.
Oh,
First
man.
Thessalonians. Oh my God.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
Oh, to obfuscate a little bit, do you know those guys who like walk around with crosses who apparently have like the entire Bible
Yeah,
memorized?
I told you about that guy
Yeah.
that I met, right?
Honestly,
when I was a
that's-
kid.
Pretty.
They're just
extreme,
autistic.
but respectable.
They're just autistic.
I don't know. I don't hate that. Doesn't really bother
They're
me.
monks. Are monks autistic?
Oh,
Probably.
a lot of them are like criminals. Like it's
Oh, yeah?
they're just like they have like no anger control, or like they do a lot of like they fucked up a lot, and then they were like, you know what, I should probably be a monk so that I'm not part of like normal civilization anymore. So I don't want to fuck kids or something.
You know,
You know, that's how that works.
Not a terrible way to combat that problem. It's like, hey, I'm just gonna read the Bible and fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
First Thessalonians. I'm going to give you a couple of the parts of the book. You tell me what you think's happening.
All right.
All right. Reminders concerning holiness.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
oh, you
so-
want me to? Okay.
What do you
Hey,
think
this
he
is a bit
says
of
about what is he reminding them of in concerns to
this
holiness?
Okay, stop with the
First
trap porn.
Thessalonians.
pretty. Yeah. Stop with the. Okay. Look. If the feminine. Look. It's a penis. It's a penis. It doesn't matter if it's feminine. It's
telling me it's
gay!
a feminine penis.
Gay!
Reminders concerning unity
That was
Now
like
watch normal gay porn.
and how to await his coming. I'm not
Okay.
even joking. I'm not even joking.
You see how you wait for his coming
Yeah.
is by stroking,
going back.
stroking a
You
little
open your
slower,
mouth and you close your eyes.
and you stroke a little faster.
Are we going to hell for this? Well, this might like legitimately be what gets us put in hell.
Sure, if I believed
no,
in
it
it.
won't. It's the Orthodox Bible. It doesn't count.
God, I'm really sorry if
this is
like
Protestant American
God, we're
South.
not sorry. You're
I
a
am.
piece of shit despot.
it's not like a. I mean, it
E-
doesn't
even
matter.
if you're the Christian God and you're real, you're a shitty tyrant and fuck you.
Okay.
Really, dude,
Yeah.
man, you're
That's not
going
what I
to hell.
said. You know,
That's-
he can go to hell. I'm cool over here.
Yeah, same. I'm not gonna go up there and then look God in the face and be like, "You did a wrong."
I did. I will.
Because if you do,
I'll look God in the face and be like, man, you know what's weird? I'm more morally
I was
superior
like
to
that.
you.
I was like that when I was 13.
That,
Yeah.
that
13-year-old me was like,
in
I'm gonna,
every legend about God, that has gone well.
I mean,
oh yeah, every single time, every God in
Sure,
existence.
but
As
he
a matter of fact.
loves to be humble.
But like we're pretending
his
like God's
favorite
real
thing.
and we get to face him. I mean, let's be realistic. You can't really hate anything if it just doesn't exist.
All right, let's do one
So,
more
meh.
book.
Then you're just not entertaining the hypothetical.
I mean, what if yeah,
You
you're
can't
right.
say that what you'll say to God while simultaneously holding the belief that he actually isn't there.
I mean,
like,
to entertain
you know-
the hypothetical, yeah, you have to entertain the idea that you have to give the fact that God exists. But I mean, at the end of the day, whenever
Okay,
people
I
go,
said hypothetical. You said fact, but go on.
All right,
if you go back to the beginning, I said in the hypothetical, I have to concede the idea of the fact that God exists.
Sure, there we go.
all right. What happened in the book of?
Sorry, my words aren't 100% perfectly correct every
Let's do
time.
one more book. What happens in the book of Nahum?
Nahum.
Nahum.
That's a cool name.
That is a cool name. Like
No,
that's
no.
that's scary.
It's
if
who,
you
not whom.
Nahu.
No, whom.
Whom Nahum, yes,
No,
correct.
whom.
Not God damn it. I always get those mixed up.
No, whom.
Oh, Nahum. Yeah, okay. It's like who's on first. Nahum, page 1024. Let's see what's in the book of Nahum. At least a little bit of it, because who doesn't want to read a little bit of the Bible?
Nahum sounds like a real bro. I bet he fucks.
Nahum sounds like a black dude. I'm not even gonna lie. Like if like
mean-
there's no white guy named Nahum.
Not in America. But I
Then
mean,
come the comment of I'm a white guy named Nahum.
in Israel.
Oh,
or
it's only 2
Babylonia,
pages long.
Read the whole thing. That's what our audience is here for, man.
I'm gonna
Nahum
give
is
you
not
your
a real
Bible
book of
podcast.
the Bible. There's no way.
There's it is. It's-
Baptists do not believe
I
in the
can
book
literally
of Nahum.
see Nahum from right here.
Yeah,
in
and
giant
I can
letters.
get the whole Latter Day Saints book, and every other Christian's gonna be like, that's not a real book of the Bible.
it's the prophet Nahum apparently, who is commemorated on December 1st. His name means
Hazarat Nahum Asalan.
consolation. He was from the tribe of Simeon and a contemporary of the prophets Zephaniah,
Yeah.
Jeremiah, and Habakkuk. God damn.
Love me some Habakkuk.
God, that sounds like the most delicious Jewish dish that's ever existed. If there's like an old
Look,
Jewish
like that
grandma
kind of-
cooking some
if the book
Habakkuk,
of Nahum-
Like that's like some bread with like goat meat like baked into
Oof.
it that you dip into some
Oof.
sort of like
Mwah.
spicy
Mwah.
like milk-based sauce of some sort that's really creamy.
I'm serious. There's only 2 parts to this book. There's
If
just
the Book of Nahum was a
the
real...
Lord judges his enemies, which is the first part.
Yeah.
And then it
Okay.
says the
Nahum
judgment of Nineveh.
Oh,
Okay.
Nineveh.
And
I've actually heard
then-
of Nineveh.
And then the wickedness of Nineveh.
Looks like Nahum
If
kept
the-
it real.
If the
Is
book
Nineveh like the old version of nig-nog?
Whoa, now.
I'm just saying, it's spelled only a couple of letters away. I'm starting to think that maybe the Bible might be racist, you guys.
No.
No,
I mean,
okay.
I think
Oh,
we're-
Habakkuk is the next book. There is a book of Habakkuk.
Oh, I guess he survived.
The first, yeah, right? Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like he might be getting some like harsh Old Testament judgment for a minute there.
Well, the
I was-
first one says...
I was a little concerned for Habakkuk.
the first thing is he complains of injustice.
Uh-oh.
So maybe
Again.
he's sitting up there with Will being like, you're wrong. And then the Lord answers is the next
Oh.
part.
That's a dangerous place to be in.
Yeah. And then the next one is a further complaint of injustice.
Mm.
And then the Lord answers the prophet's complaints. And then he just prays about it, apparently.
answer it
The
like
last
when
one is
he
the
answered-
prophet's prayer.
Does he answer it like he answered Job with the, get over it?
Yeah, get over it. Your wife and daughter are killed. I'll give you a better one. Don't worry about it. What even is that? What is the story there? Why is that a thing? Why is it like, yeah, God,
Book of Job.
did no one love a woman?
Not a great story.
Did no one ever love a woman in
Old
like
first
that-
century,
Job
It was
not,
just like,
not first century Jewish people.
yeah, they just like owned them. It was kind of like your dog died, like
Yeah,
your God kills your wife and you're like,
I suppose when like everyone's
Family.
dying by the age of 32,
oh, you know what I just
it's
realized?
probably like, I can't care. I don't care.
That's why Jesus was considered a miracle worker, because he started his miracles at the age of 32.
Oh,
Everyone was just
yeah.
like, he should be dead.
Yeah. Oh, that guy's on his last legs. He's got 1 foot in the grave. He's walking on water. I don't understand.
He started pushing it to 33, and that's when the Romans were like, this is not
This is
possible.
way
We
too
have to
old.
stop this.
Yeah, it's just like
This is
the Netanyahu and trying to kill 6 million. He's going to cut it off at 5.9.
Uh-huh.
The Romans were just like, absolutely not. No one lives over 33 here. We're putting you up on a piece of wood.
That
I'm
is
sorry about it.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
You
that was
know.
actually their biggest
Honestly,
complaint.
you're probably a demon.
Also, they didn't like that he kissed that guy that one time.
Yeah,
You
he
gotta
did kiss
wonder
that
why,
guy.
Well, the other guy kissed him, really, but I mean,
Hey, look, you gotta
that makes
equal application of the law onto all people.
I almost
okay?
just straight up blasphemed. I was just like,
Yeah, none of the rest of this was blasphemy.
No,
Good
no,
point.
no. I was like, they didn't like that he kissed that guy that one time. But then in my head, I was like, no, actually, the guy kissed him, which makes Jesus the bottom. Like,
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah, you
that
know.
Jesus would be a receiver and not a giver.
that's all. I mean, he gives.
I mean, you're right. That is blasphemy.
That's
Everyone knows
100%
Jesus was a giver.
absolutely he was.
Well, I
He
want
was not there to receive.
Whoa,
Yes.
whoa. That is not true. And I want to point out, 1, Jesus is submissive. He washed the feet of his disciples. 2, Jesus was the suffering servant.
Ooh,
If that's not
okay.
a euphemism for taking up the ass, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's what they called me back when I was dating guys. They were like, "Oh, there's
Suffering
another
servant.
suffering
Yeah.
servant."
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, they
that's
called you the succulent.
They called you the harlot.
the suffering servant is like my new favorite way to refer to bottom gay guys.
The suffering servant.
I'm gonna start referring to Al as the suffering servant.
And to think you were worried this was going to get into blasphemy.
Oh yeah, and that goes 2 ways for Al. Because I mean,
He's a giver and a receiver.
No, I'm just saying his
I'm
race
serious.
has a history of being servants. That's all
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
And they
Okay.
suffered.
yeah, and they suffered.
I'm serious. I
double
didn't even
suffering
know the
servant.
Book of Nahum.
You think he'd
was a
wash my
thing.
feet if I asked him to?
No.
I think you'd have to pay him, but I
Okay.
dig-
Why doesn't anyone preach out of the Book of Nahum?
Probably because
It's short.
yeah, it's 3 pages
Yeah,
long.
we can
In a,
get out
like,
of here.
700
We can
page
go
book.
home.
What happens in the book of Nahum? We've
they
already
read the-
been
Apparently,
over
they
it.
You go to
judge
church
God's
to their-
enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
like when
And
you
then
go to-
Nahum's like, why? Why are you so judgmental? And then God's like, get over it, dude.
So basically, exactly what's going to happen when you
'Cause
die.
you fuckers
Yeah.
don't behave.
Yeah. Would you blame God if he just did another like giant flood thing and just wiped humanity clean again and saved like 1 dude and a bunch of animals?
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
he
at
promised
this point,
not to do it.
unironically,
You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, that does kind of like put a fucking pin in that, doesn't it? Like, hey, hey. you promised you would never do this again.
Every time I see a rainbow.
Yeah, you're breaking the biggest promise ever made.
By the way, can we point out, like, why does an all-knowing God need a reminder not to break his promise?
Can I stop you there for 1 second? Because I have to answer Patrick's question here. And
Yeah.
the answer is unfortunately and quite sadly the same either way, because it would be factually correct either way.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I would blame us.
Oh, yeah, of course
Because
you would.
it would either have been actual climate change that we brought upon ourselves, or we pissed God off by fucking up the world so much that he brought climate change upon us and killed us all. It's literally the same answer either way.
That's what it is,
no
isn't it?
difference.
That's what it is. That must have been what happened. They had like all this technology, and like prehistory.
Atlantis.
Yeah, they had like Atlantis.
Noah came from Atlantis.
Yeah,
this
and
is
then
commonly known fact.
Exactly.
Catch up, Patrick.
That's what I'm saying. And then they melted the ice caps. And then they flooded the world, and Noah was just the one guy that survived from Atlantis.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
That's why he was able to somehow make civilization work with only one family worth of genetics. He used his magical technology to give everyone their own DNA sequence.
The weird part to me that is every time you talk about like that kind of stuff with a Christian, like the only thing that they can say in return to that is like, well, God made a miracle happen, and then it's if something doesn't make sense, then God made a miracle happen. Like,
Yeah,
how did
it's
Noah
called God,
continue?
it's the God of the gaps fallacy.
Yeah. It's a matter of faith.
It's God
and
until
I
we
don't blame
figure
anybody.
out how that could possibly work.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind people just having faith. I mean, it's just weird that is how it works, right?
Mhm.
Like anytime that you don't know something, you just have to say, yeah, I don't know. I guess God did a thing and made it work because that's what it says happened, and I believe that's what happened.
One of
I
the
think
ones
a more
that annoy
honest
you-
answer would just be, I don't know, and then don't add the second part.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what a
like-
lot of Orthodox like priests do.
One of the one that annoys me is the counter on the Big Bang, where it's like, okay, well, you get to the Big Bang, then who did the Big Bang? And it's like, it's like, well, I'm sure science will find out one day.
Oh yeah, like
Or we
how?
won't,
Yeah.
because we exist prior to what happened before
Yeah.
the Big Bang, and there's just
So,
no way to look before that.
It doesn't matter also.
Yeah, like,
Oh my
who
God.
cares?
Something I learned recently that's like the coolest fact ever is that like, you know what the Goldilocks zone is? Like in reference okay. So like when the Big Bang happened, the world and the universe was a lot hotter.
Mhm.
And since then it's been expanding and getting colder.
Mhm.
And so that means that at one point there were a lot more places that were within a Goldilocks zone just by default.
Mhm.
So we as humans developing in this place where like it's so far from the Big Bang, we might be one of the last evolving life forms because we're like in the Goldilocks zone, right? It makes sense if aliens do exist that they're like wildly older than us because there would have been way more places they could develop.
Yeah.
So if aliens do exist, they're probably like way older than we can comprehend to the point to where like it's like trying to comprehend the like into the trillions or quadrillions,
Yeah, I mean, it's basically infinite because we can't measure out to the ends of it yet. I mean, until we measure out the ends of it, the only thing we can assume is that it actually is infinite. Now, that's a bit
Now,
of
are
a
you
fallacy.
talking about
The universe.
history or your dick?
Well, everyone knows my dick is infinite.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say they're kind of the same. When you start talking like that, I get confused. I have to make sure that I know which one we're talking about.
If I unzip this thing and flop it out and tell you to look from the tip to the base or from the base to the tip, you won't.
It'll break your mind, like looking at like,
It won't break.
like an elder
You
god.
can see the tip.
My dick
and you
is-
can start following.
It's
but you'll
non-
never reach the
it's-
base.
it's-
and if you look at the base, you can see that. But if you start following it upwards, you'll never see the tip.
Your dick has non-Euclidean geometry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just eldritch horror penis.
Yeah.
That's why every woman who takes it gets it just right.
Yeah, I understand.
It's in the Goldilocks.
Oh, every time.
It's
100%.
just right
What he
every
doesn't
time.
tell you is, looking up or down, you'll never see the bottom or top, but you just have to look sideways.
Oh yeah, you look at the wheel sideways. I know what you mean.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's impossible to see the side.
God damn, that makes me want to fucking.
I was just more.
If you could
saying
physically
that
see it from the
people
side,
don't
then
understand-
yes, you'd see its entire length.
Well,
but-
I was more saying as people don't understand that you have a prehensile penis and you just wrap it to where it's just staring somebody in the face sideways. So they look up, they don't see the tip. It's just because it's right there at the side of their
Well,
face.
Yes.
I've actually never sat in a chair. This is just my coiled penis. It's so hard for your brain to comprehend it.
we
though.
just see it as a
you
chair.
just see it as a chair,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you can't imagine someone just sitting down on their own coiled penis. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So,
Is there
as
any?
I said, it's non-Euclidean. So.
There is that like guy that's like dick kept growing as he got older, and like at some point like he cut it off.
Wrapped it around his belt like a
No,
Saiyan.
Yeah. When he looked at a woman, he turned into a giant ape. Yeah. They had to cut it off because it just kept becoming too much of an issue. But yeah, his dick like kept growing as he got older, and then like he like couldn't get a boner or anything. Like he could never have sex. It was way too big. It like went down to like his ankles or something. And he was like, he was a genetic freak, and he hated it to the point to where I think he just cut it off eventually. It was like some Indian
Could
dude.
you even fucking jack off?
No, he couldn't do anything. He could never get an erection.
Useless.
Yeah, it's just
couldn't even go to the bathroom, or probably.
he
Probably have trouble doing
basically
that.
had a tail. Like he
Front
basically had
tail.
a front tail, yeah, but it also just happened to be
Man, pissing
That
must have been
sucks.
the worst.
pissing must have been
I
the
wonder
worst,
if he
right?
used to be able to use it when he was young.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
that was how it
masturbate
worked.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, like when he was young,
Oh,
like
that
when he was really young.
sucks.
And you know that at one point when he was like in his like early 20s, he was like, "This rules."
Right.
Like it's just big enough to where it's like not quite to his knee yet, but he's like, "Yeah, I've got like the biggest dick in the world.
Yeah.
This rules." And then eventually it got to his knee, and he was like, "Oh God!" And it got
Uh-oh.
past his knee to his shin, and he was like,
Wasn't it supposed to stop
"Oh
growing?
no!"
So for you, it'd be the knee. Eric,
Yeah.
at what point would your dick size worry you?
You wake up and your dick is bigger. How much bigger does it have to be before you're actually worried?
Before
Honestly,
it becomes
if
a
it-
blessing to curse.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just floating right like the 6-inch mark, like give or take a little bit. So I got to be completely honest. If it went to like 150%, I would assume I have a serious medical condition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I would just be like, no.
My cousin,
No,
the one
no.
that went to remedial school or whatever, went to alternative school because he got a blowjob. He
Yeah.
had such a bad diet one time that his dick swole up like the blueberry girl in Willy Wonka.
Whoa.
Yeah, like he came to me because we were living together at the time, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I need you to look at my dick," and I was like, "Well, yeah, I mean, twist my arm, why don't you?" Yeah. But he showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh, you need to go to the hospital like right now." It was like as big of it was flaccid completely, but it was like blueberry blue and as big as a Coke can.
Yeah, he
Whoa.
needed to go straight to
And
the
I was
hospital.
like, "Bro, fuck, that would rule under any other circumstance, but you are probably dying and losing your penis or something."
yeah, you need to go to the hospital right now.
It just ended up being that he got he had like no vitamins in his system. So like that was where the most blood was in his body or
So,
something.
Life hack, everybody. Don't eat your vitamins and you can have a bigger penis.
Yeah,
Eat
it'll be
a
blue
fucking
and
balanced diet.
Yeah.
Do not eat one singular snack food all day for like 3 days.
The thing
your
was-
penis will fall off.
Yeah.
Like there's a non-zero chance that your penis will fall off.
Do you know how they treated that when he was like, they could give him like an EpiPen, which is basically what they did because he was
Okay.
having like a whatever the fuck where it's like you get stung by a bee.
Yeah.
It was basically the same thing, but it was
He
all
was
in his
having an
Dysphoria?
anaphylactic.
Yeah,
reaction.
anaphylactic reaction. So like the doctors like gave him an injection that made it go down, and then the doctor told him like, "This probably happened because of your diet. What are you eating?" And then he told him, and he was like, "Yeah, that'll do it." And then he was like, "So what do I eat? What do I need to eat?" And he was like, "Just get any fruit, like fruit popsicles." And then he started eating fruit popsicles, and that was the cure to not have his dick fall off.
Yeah.
So he
Wait,
had
was my
scurvy
bro
in the
getting
dick?
scurvy of the dick? Yeah,
Yes,
like
that's exactly what was happening.
what
had-
the fuck? He had
So
some
you
sort
heard it
of
here, fellas. Get
sideways
scurvy in the dick.
Get
Eat your
scurvy of
fucking
the dick.
fruits and vegetables, you fucking heathens.
Yeah.
You have to have vitamin C in your body. Literally any plant has a tiny bit in it. Fruits have the most. Eat your fucking fruits and vegetables.
Or just,
Primal-
or just Flintstones vitamins. Like just
or even better than Flintstones, get a vitamin bottle, put that in the sun, let that melt. You want the sunlight because that's vitamin D. You're adding that in.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, there you
just
go.
Scratch
See?
everything these guys are saying.
take that
Eat a
out
balanced diet of like
and-
No.
normal
I
food.
like
That-
the science
that
version of this.
solid gelatin that you now have of vitamin goop.
Yeah.
You're just going to start eating that. Like
Well, you
one
break
bite a
it
day.
down.
Eat
You
an
alternatively,
apple,
you can
an
go
orange or a banana every other day,
Now,
and you will avoid.
I will point out, don't eat all of it because that will be an overdose of vitamins. You only want one bite a day.
I would say, there's the opposite way you could do it where you treat it like meth. You
Peanut
take
butter
it out,
goes
you
great
crack
on
it, you break it with a
apples.
hammer or something, then you just put it in a meth pipe and you just smoke it.
You smoke your
There you go.
vitamins.
And I mean, that's just the easiest way to get your vitamins. If you're somebody like
Hey,
Eric,
Patrick,
who basically all he does
don't
is...
listen to us discretion at the beginning of this.
You can listen to
Warning,
me,
do
but
not
don't
do
listen
this.
to those two for sure. I'm giving real advice back here.
Are you telling me you don't put tobacco, weed, and crystallized Flintstone vitamins into your pipe every day when you smoke? I've seen your habits. I know that's the only reason you don't have scurvy of the dick.
I will have you know, and I'm a little bit insulted here. I specifically craft my crystal meth into Flintstones characters. There are, in fact, no vitamins in there. And
he had
you
to-
are belittling my art.
Yeah,
Do you
he-
have any idea how hard it is to carve crystal meth into little figurines?
Do you know how
And
hard he
then
had to work on
how
getting?
hard it is to then, be addicted to meth and have to smoke them because I have no self-control?
Do you know how hard it is to find Flintstone molds that
Oh,
fit
yeah.
to crystal meth?
That
little
was a real
things?
thing with MDMA in England.
Yeah.
People were like making MDMA
Oh,
into Flintstone vitamins.
That's actually super easy.
That was like
though,
a joke.
because people will put MDMA into like pill molds.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
you'll put
So
it
it's
in
like,
anything.
It's really easy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
So-
the whole deal. But like
Yeah.
Wait, can you
Flintstone
actually get like
vitamin
a
and MDMA.
Flintstone vitamin mold?
Yeah, no, I mean
Easy.
all you got to do is
Just a
just get a
Flintstones
Flintstone
character
vitamin, make a mold of it, and
Yeah.
there you're done.
Yeah,
Like
just-
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's like
See,
super
it's-
simple.
What in your head? What did you think was happening?
A
Please
muffin
explain.
pan.
Oh, okay.
Well-
I thought it was like a cookie cutter that they put on like a
Kinda.
tray with a
Yeah.
little thing. They
The
poured
funny
it
thing
in there.
is, you can make one like that relatively easily just by getting a little bit of goopy chemicals that harden into stuff. Bada
Mhm.
bing, bada boom, and then you've got like basically a little latex pan filled with like Flintstones indentations, and then bam, you just pour your drug mixture into that, pop them out, like put them in the freezer or something, or just lay them out to dry. I don't know. Depends on how whatever drug you're working with.
Okay.
works,
How
but-
much better do you think you could upcharge if you made your rocks into Flintstone vitamins?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, like that's like the,
crack rocks or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
None at all.
Yeah,
Because crackheads
it's not worth
do not
anything.
care.
Yeah.
They will buy it at rock bottom prices. They do not give a fuck. If you try and charge them more for making it Flintstone shape, they'll slap you in the face and say, then stop making it into Flintstone shapes, you stupid fucktard. Give me my fucking crack!
Now, if it's MDMA, that's only like for rich white girls that go to
that's
Europe.
for
Oh,
like
perfect.
people
Yeah.
who are already fucking around and having fun. Crack is for I need it right now.
Yeah, you'd know a lot about that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, MDMA is, oh, me and my bitches are going partying tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
What is
you don't even
MDMA?
Was
want
that
to do
you?
it
Was
right
that you
now.
being a woman, or was that you being gay?
That's me being the gay friend
Oh,
of the
okay.
women all going out
Makes
to the club.
sense.
What is
Yeah.
MDMA?
Ecstasy.
It's
Oh,
It's the
ecstasy.
main ingredient in ecstasy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pure MDMA is
Molly.
often called Molly.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
in
okay.
powder form, or you can mix it up with a little bit of,
Is Molly what makes your
cocaine.
nose bleed?
well,
I mean,
all drugs
all
that you
drug-
sniff
yeah.
through your nose can make your nose bleed, but cocaine is the most caustic one. Too much cocaine can give you a single nostril by melting
the bridge
the
between your
septum
nose.
bridge
Ugh.
area
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, like especially back there where the sinuses connect and it just becomes thin tubes. It'll burn that away.
Ugh.
Yeah. Believe it or not, snorting cocaine, bad for you.
I don't know about that, dude. I've snorted a bit of cocaine in my past, and let me tell you, it wasn't that bad. I've still got both my nostrils, and I had a great time.
Yeah, because you
I
did
thought
it
you
over the course
said
of
you had
2
not a
days. Do it
great
over the
time.
course of 3 years, doing it every single day, and we'll see how.
What am I, a fucking billionaire? Like, what the fuck do you mean?
And
Do it
now
over
you
the course
know
of 3
why
years.
you go and get crack instead.
Exactly.
You don't
Okay.
have to worry about the nose thing. It's way
I mean, and you-
cheaper.
you-
It's shaped like Flintstones vitamins. It's
And you specifically, I mean, meth is right up your alley in price range.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, meth is kind of like a decent middle ground because it tends to last a lot longer than crack does, but without being excessively more expensive.
Oh, that's really interesting, Eric. But I believe that we've made time. Thank you for talking to us about your crack epidemic problems, and just in general about
Can
like
you use the cotton with crack?
if you do, then
if-
you're.
I don't. Do people melt crack down and then inject it? I think you do that with cocaine. You don't do it with crack. 'Cause
You know
crack,
what?
Crack
In the
is when you take
comments, go
cocaine
ahead and
harden
melt
it.
down your crack, and you do it once with the cotton ball and once without, and let us know how it goes. Just come back and let us know how that goes.
That's funny. Half our subscribers never showed up again after this one.
Yeah, that was a weird time. Anyways, this has been AnythingCast. I'm Patrick,
I'm Eric.
I'm Will.
and Eric, go smoke a cigarette. I'm gonna go take a shit.